Hello, friends! Today's episode dives into another indie module from the Dungeons of Dazegoneby module line. It's a deadly one, but today's players bring more than their share of silliness to offset the tension, and more than our usual amount of contrived character entrances. Everything you could want from a game of old-school essentials. So, sit back, get comfortable, get some popcorn, and let's have at it! As always, the action is recreated using the Order of the Stick Monster for Every Season cutout minis. Today's players! Scott as Seneca Christ, Lawful Cleric of Foltas, Level 4. Neil as Onion Buns Bumblestump, Neutral Halfling, Level 3. Rhiannon as Plexus Goric, Chaotic Dwarf, Level 3. Guest players! Coming over from the Night Below campaign is Les as Piran, Lawful Cleric of Elona, Level 1. What? Why are you interrupting? I'm trying to introduce the characters. Oh, nothing. Carry on. Okay. And guest player Brian as Happy Pecker Checker, Neutral Halfling. What is so funny? Happy
Pecker Checker.
What? It's a fine halfling name. The Pecker Checkers go back many generations, originally descended from the noble family of Williganders. I see genealogy isn't your strong suit. Now shut up and let me narrate the adventure. Newcomers to the keep on the Borderlands, the cleric Piran and halfling Happy Pecker Checker have made the acquaintance of stalwarts Onion Buns Bumblestump, Plexus Goric, and Seneca Christ. They sit at the Traveller's Inn exchanging information about the region. Seneca speaks of the Hydra his team encountered several weeks back. They talk of the defeat of the Hill Giant at the Caves of Chaos. And there's news that a local merchant and wannabe noble, Clifton Caldwell, has moved his residence to the Guildhall here at the Keep, and is once again seeking mercenaries to clear out his embattled castle, or rather the undead beneath it. Seneca also speaks of a Minotaur at the Caves of Chaos, and how they've received intelligence that it may be turned against the tribes, though no one seems eager to rush out and parley with the beast to find out. Piran mentions that there's also pressure from the Church of Elona to recover the Scepter of Elona, as well as clear out the lost Shrine of Elona, which is currently being occupied by a tribe of Kobolds. Happy speaks of his tragic capture by foul orcs and the subsequent death of his mother at their hands before escaping. He immediately takes to Plexus and offers loyalty and support, this stemming from a fun player decision to treat his interactions with anyone that has a charisma equal to twice his wisdom score as akin to a charm spell. His wisdom happens to be 6. She is not impressed with him, however, and when he asks her name, she tells him it's get the fuck away from me. Such language. But he takes it literally and subsequently calls her this unironically at every turn. Happy is so taken with Plexus that he declares that she should be leader. A vote is taken and all agree to let Plexus lead the mission. Even Seneca acquiesces to this, as to give her a chance at responsibility. It is decided that they will help Piran find the Temple of Elona and cleanse it. Seneca and crew set out to recruit retainers. Plexus strikes out with the first, with a typical gruff dwarven offer that doesn't impress the potential hireling. Seneca sees 2 people chatting with Javier the barkeep, who points in the team's direction. Onion Buns jumps on the table and calls out to the crowd. That attracts a young pig farmer who is interested at first, at which point Onion Buns talks him out of it by convincing him that it's all too dangerous, despite Seneca's efforts to entice him. A woman approaches, named Andrea, and she hires on while the other 2 at the bar agree to terms and join as well. Andrea, Mal, and Book are the retainers. With the retainers equipped, the group seeks to talk to Carson the woodsman about the shrine, but he's deep in his cups as usual. He drunkenly recounts previous excursions, The Beastman, Kobolds, and Wolves, and a snarky mage getting killed. They tell Carson they want to hire him to guide them to the shrine, but a low roll indicates he's not interested. However, after offering him another drink, a re-roll is prompted and he's suddenly interested. The next day they gear up and head out. Carson has shaken off the booze and is equipped and sharp. While traveling, Happy speaks of his time as a prisoner of the orcs and how his mother died while he escaped. This is a story he repeats often and to the continued annoyance of the group. Travel through the woods is uneventful, and they arrive near the shrine site by midday. Carson, Onion Buns, and Happy scout ahead. Plexus advises them not to engage, just to scout. In short order, they see wolves. Onion draws his bow, preparing to attack, but Happy grabs him by the lapel and tells him not to defy the leader. Onion Buns changes his mind, and they report back. While the scouting is happening, Senec realizes that he forgot to bless the team, so opts to do so without Onion, Happy, or Carson. When the scouts arrive back, Onion Buns advises that they should shoot the wolves at range, but Plexus instructs them otherwise, as while they may get one, it will sound an alert and the entire force of kobolds would be on them in no time. Plexus instead wants the halflings to scout more and go around to the far side of the shrine. Onion Buns doesn't like the plan, but Happy states that she's the leader and knows what she's doing. Onion Buns then replies that she's a woman, what does she know?
Ooh, who knew good old Onion Buns was a chauvinist? I wonder how long he'll last as a fan favorite now.
Plexus, not skipping a beat, immediately states that, you know what, perhaps you should go and shoot the wolves all by yourself. Happy, Onion Buns, and Carson scout around to the other side of the clearing and shrine. They spot 2 more wolves, but remain unnoticed and return to report. At this juncture, Plexus decides that attack at range is the best option after all, and they form up. But Onion Buns jumps the gun and shoots first before everyone else is in position. He hits a wolf, which yelps, thus alerting anything in the shrine to their presence. Happy threatens Onion Buns for his defiance of the leader's orders, then mentions that such things are what got his mother killed by the orcs who held them captive during that tragic time when he lost his mother to the orcs who took him prisoner that was never, ever brought up before. The rest of the team launches into attacks, does some damage, but morale holds. The 2 wolves charge forth, while 2 others emerge. Happy looks at Plexus, and, eager to impress her, he runs screaming at the wolves. The rest of the group is stunned with disbelief. Tied initiative sees Happy and the closest wolf collide. Happy's blow hits, doing enough to finish the wolf off, but he is torn to shreds in the exchange by the other 3 wolves. The group looses another volley, kills another wolf, but unexpectedly, the 2 remaining wolves stop, turn back, and run into the temple, apparently summoned or called back. Onion Bun sneaks forward through the tall grass and hides, observing. There doesn't immediately seem to be any activity in the shrine. And thus we come to our contrived character entrance of Brian's next character, Ruprecht, the Gonadian Prince. What is it this time?
Gonadian Prince, really?
Yes, the Gonads were a mighty family, descended from the ancient hero Testicles. The dynasty fell when they lost the family jewels, stolen by agents of the Pudenda Empire. Seriously, read a book sometime. Yeesh. Upon stating his name, Scott and Rhiannon lose it and laugh. What exactly is going on with people today? Indignant and not breaking character, the prince queries as to what is so funny. He states that he's lost as his caravan was attacked and he was separated from them when he fled into the forest. He is happy to have found others. This turns sour immediately, however, after he exerts his noble bearing and orders the peasants to fall in line under his command. After some snarky remarks by Plexus, he tries to command Plexus's retainers to follow his orders and discipline her, but they step in front of her protectively and point out that she's the one paying the bills and to back off. 2 stubby middle fingers emerge from behind their heads, aimed at Ruprecht. This, of course, doesn't go well, as the party starts insulting the prince with their comments and irreverence, especially Plexus, who calls him an idiot and a moron, to which he responds that she's crass and uncouth, and that he'll take his chances elsewhere, and then departs back into the woods. Brian then starts prepping another backup. Piran just stands there bewildered at all the drama. I think I can relate. They creep forward towards the shrine. Many kobolds emerge and attack with bows. Carson is hit by a poison arrow, causing him to hallucinate and flee into the woods. Plexus and Piran are both hit as well, also failing their saving throws, but there doesn't seem to be an immediate effect. Onion Bun stays put and out of the fight, much to the chagrin of the team. The group returns fire, whittling the kobolds down, getting closer to the shrine at each volley. Eventually, Piran rushes in while the others exchange missile fire with the remaining kobolds. Piran finds a trussed-up human, and thus our next contrived entrance sees the arrival of Corellian, neutral human illusionist.
Now that's a silly name. Oh, now you've just gone too far, wizard. How racist can you be? That's a proud elven name with a rich history. Do you want to get us demonetized with such obviously bigoted rhetoric? Come along, imp. We don't want to be associated with such a person.
But, wait a sec!
Monster!
What did I say? Back to the narration. The 4 remaining kobolds retreat after killing Andrea and Mal in an exchange of missiles. Plexus and others chase them into a fountain room. Onion Buns finally emerges from his hiding spot and sprints over to rejoin the group. They see a fountain of viscous black goop bubbling out of the neck hole of a decapitated statue, though the head is nowhere to be found. Piran recognizes the statue as that of Ilona. This shrine was once a major place of worship and pilgrimage, but now has been desecrated. Doors lead to a back barracks, where the 4 kobolds have holed up. The group rushes in to engage and finish them, but Piran is killed during a simultaneous initiative, one in which he also deals a fatal blow to one of the kobolds. The team finishes the other 3 kobolds off, and then they find our next contrived character entrance of Les's backup, Struck, neutral human magic user. Role-playing the entrance, Struck and Corellian reveal that they were both taken prisoner by a wolf-like beast man and kobold minions. Each thought the other dead. With the entry story contrived, the game moves on. Corellian asks Struck about that arrogant jackass, the Gonadian Prince, another member of their destroyed caravan. Senec wants to explore the doors, so the group discusses. Corellian extols the virtues of elves, saying how having more elves would benefit the group. In fact, he doesn't shut up about elves, even claiming that he has elven ancestry. Senec casts a healing spell on Plexus while they figure things out. Plexus goes to dip her axe into the poison well, but hears something in the main hall and alerts the rest of the group. They're ready up. Plexus peeks out and sees the aforementioned Beastman with 2 wolves and 6 kobold archers. The Beastman calls to the group, calling out to the humans that they will die. Plexus immediately says that there are 2 who aren't human. A reaction roll is positive, and the Beastman says that the non-humans may leave in peace, but that the humans must stay. Corellian, who clearly suffers from elfism, a condition where humans deify elves and seek their favor, claims that he doesn't identify as a human, so there are 3 non-humans and prepares to join anyone departing. The group dallies with their deliberations, so the impatient Beastman says fine, all who stand with the humans will die. The team makes a plan to swiftly depart and sprint for the woods through the side exit in the opposite direction. They run, but a row of kobold archers has moved to cover that exit. Corellian casts a wall of fog to offer some concealment. Then the group sprints the next leg to the tree line. But alas, the volley kills both Struck and Corellian, and further injures Plexus. A final initiative roll is needed to see if they can make the tree line before the kobolds can shoot again, but the dice are with them, and they get the initiative, allowing them to dive into cover. The kobolds and beastmen do not pursue, so the group returns to Book and the cart, where Carson is freaking out about the missing leaves from his body, still under the effects of whatever poisoned him. Plexus notes that trees and grass are looking really delicious, and any thought of conventional food puts her off. The curse that affects her starting to come into play. Wasting no more time, the group immediately departs and makes haste for the keep, where they arrive as night is falling. Gren the Frowning lets them in. Before wrapping up, the survivors head into the Traveller's Inn, and a familiar face addresses them. The Gonadian Prince is sitting at a table, and he sees them as they walk in, and says, "Oh no, it's you morons!" And then the session concludes.
Well, friends, that was certainly a chaotic one. There were some fun interplayer dynamics, humorous exchanges, and wacky shenanigans, all in the midst of a truly lethal scenario.
The module is another of the Dungeons of Dazegoneby line, a fun series of quick adventures written by Matthew Klein of Creation's Edge Games, readily available on DriveThruRPG. Designed for low-level play, I found that it's actually a pretty tough go. The small army of kobolds armed with poison missile fire is deadly, and the random effects of the poisoning can really cause some havoc with a party. Before the Beastman even emerges, PCs must deal with ferocious wolves and dozens of kobolds armed with poisoned arrows. There's another creature in here that's a real threat too, but that spoiler we'll have to keep for the time being. This session represents the second interaction with this module since it was seeded into the campaign. The first being the brief encounter the players at Clericon 2023 had. That group didn't even get across the field to the shrine before being forced to retreat. The Beastman is also something special. Tough enemy just waiting to shred unsuspecting groups, and I enjoy that they've given him a very specific motivation to inform interactions. You will have to wait until the next session for more information, as that will see Senec and Plexus returning to the shrine in an effort to cure her of the lingering effect she has been cursed with. Big things are coming! This is a tough little scenario, but well worth the effort. The fountain is indeed cursed, hence the title, and those effects can lead to some fun moments of roleplay opportunity for savvy players. Look at these! Rooted to the ground, as they believe they're a tree. I love it!
Another good one from the Dungeons of Dazegoneby module line. Full review coming next session. Stay tuned for The Curse Fountain, Part 2. Until then, adventure well, my friends.